Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reselling Rhythms. In today's live stream video, I'm going to discuss some news and items that are affecting us as resellers. Every Wednesday, I typically have another reseller on, and I interview them, and I ask them to share their tips, tricks, and techniques to help make us more knowledgeable and profitable resellers. If you're interested in reselling, then you're in the right place. I know the notes went out, guys. It'd probably take a minute or two for the chat to fill in. I'm just going to pop in the chat, say hello to a few people. And like I said, I'm going to do a news show today. I do not have a guest. I did invite a couple people to come on and join me if they would like. So we shall see if they are able to join me or not. I want to say hello to Sharon, my moderator in the chat. Thanks for being here, Sharon. Appreciate you helping out. I'm sure Randy will be here shortly. And probably Michelle. So anyway, guys, I have several news things that I told you I monitor other YouTube channels, reselling channels. On reselling, I monitor other reselling chats and newsletters and blogs and those type of things. So I didn't see a few things on one of the channels I follow, Maggie Doodle's channel. If you're not subscribed to Maggie, she has some good content. I watched her video and I read some of the articles that she was speaking about. And I also reviewed some of the articles that I was looking into, and I'll speak with them shortly. So like I said, guys, it'll take a while for the chat to fill in, but I don't like to keep the people watching the replay waiting. So I will get started. And then, like I said, what I'll do is I'll pop in to the chat periodically and see what you guys, if you have any comments or any questions. So let me get started. And we shall start with my first news article. Basically, what I did is a couple of these things are social media things, and I wanted to share them with you, and they're related to reselling. So the first one, Facebook announces the next stage of its e-commerce push, including shops on WhatsApp and visual search. In line with a growing e-commerce focus, Facebook has announced a range of new shopping and discovery tools, including shops on WhatsApp and shop listings in Facebook Marketplace, as well as new visual product search options on Instagram. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg recently made this announcement on a live stream video. He also noted that Facebook and Instagram shops now see over 300 million visitors per month. Again, that's 300 visitors per month. So we'll get into I've done shows on Facebook Marketplace before. Sharon is very active in Facebook Marketplace. So, guys, if you're not in Facebook Marketplace, I would definitely consider that. Shops now see over 300 visitors per month, as I said. Zuckerberg also reported that there were more than 1.3 million monthly active shops on his platforms, a significant amount considering that Facebook only launched the shops option a year ago. The biggest announcement is shops on WhatsApp, which will enable businesses to present their entire shop within the messaging app, giving users another way to find relevant products and connect with business for more info. That could be a significant move because while WhatsApp is the most used messaging app in the world, monetization of this audience has been difficult because people don't want ads in their private message threads and ads on WhatsApp status. So Zuckerberg said that business will only need to set up their shop once to have it work across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, which could also expand e-commerce opportunities. So guys, just going to pop in the chat momentarily to see if there's any questions. Say hello to a few people. Dayton Valley Deals, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Lisa, thank you. And Michelle, thanks for joining us. Hopefully Sharon will be able to stay with us, Michelle, so if you can monitor the chat for me if you would so be so kind. So, and Michelle, thank you, by the way. I sent you a message on Facebook. Thank you for buying me a cup of coffee. I really appreciate it. So anyway, guys, I'll get into this, my second article. And again, this is also on social media. And again, guys, I try to keep up to date on technology, and it's a never-ending task. So one of the things I did use, I use Chrome typically for my browser, but you can use other browsers as well. The old Explorer you can use with Windows, and also there's other browsers that you can use, which I use the old Netscape browser as well. So anyway, I was using a extension to use Instagram so I can post from my computer. So anyway, long story short, Instagram launched a live test of image and video uploads from the desktop version of its app. Instagram is launching a first live test of the capability to publish feed posts from the desktop version of the app, with a small group of users now able to access the full suite of upload and posting options. Some users are now seeing the desktop posting, the plus icon, in the top bar of the Instagram.com. When clicked, that enables the users to upload images or videos directly from their PC hard drives. Instagram is building out its PC functionality over time. Last year, it added the capability to view live streams from the desktop version of the app, while it also improved the stories viewing experience on PC. In my opinion, guys, this will make it a lot easier for sellers to post their items for sale when you can post directly from your computer. Like I said, I used another browser, and I would use the app to post through Instagram directly from my computer, and made things a lot easier for me. In a platform or online platform related information or news, Etsy announced last month that it will begin collecting import VAT tax on physical goods under 150 pounds that are shipped to the EU from an outside country beginning July 1st. Again, VAT tax is value added tax. For under items 150 pounds, the listing price shown to EU buyers will include the import VAT amount, so it'll be easy to understand how much they'll pay for the item at a glance. This VAT will automatically be collected from the buyer at the time of purchase, then sent to local tax authorities on the seller's behalf. Basically, this was in a Etsy group chat, and they said, basically, how do you prepare? You read more about the VAT rates. EU countries will be charging for different types of goods. Think about your business plan and pricing strategy, since EU buyers might pay more for your items, and then you have to make any necessary adjustments ahead of time. Guys, the way I equate this is just kind of like the old adage, there's no such thing as free shipping. When we talk about our listings on eBay or Mercari or wherever, when you offer free shipping, you're not really offering free shipping. The buyer is paying for shipping, obviously, because you're incorporating the cost of your shipping into the cost of the listing price. So again, keep in mind, guys, and I always say this every show to remind the newer sellers that when you're paying for shipping, you're including free shipping. Don't forget you're paying fees through eBay or Mercari or whomever on the final value fee. So you are paying commissions on that shipping. So if shipping costs you, let's say, make it easy, $10, and I round up eBay's fees to 15%. It's probably closer to 14%, but you're paying an additional 15% on that shipping. So let's just say, like, for simplicity's sake, it's $10. You're paying an additional $1.50 in commission or fees on top of the shipping for your cost. So obviously, again, if you're offering free shipping, we all know you're not really offering free shipping. You're incorporating it in the price of your item. So let me just pop in the chat, guys, to see if there's any questions or concerning these few items, and then I'll get into the next news story. Okay. Okay, Michelle, Lisa said, okay, probably works. Let's go, Michelle. Hope you're doing well. And by the way, guys, while I'm thinking about it, hopefully my friends and reselling friends in Florida are doing well. I know I saw Mike Flipping Goodies posted earlier, and Johnny Cajun Resellers chat that the storm basically was passing over him, and basically it was just, I guess, a lot of rain. He was safe. I know Wendy, and I'm going to bring that up a little bit later. Lucky Charm Wendy, she had flooding the prior week in her yard. So and apparently the storm was passing right over her. The tropical storm was passing right over her property. So she was dealing with that today. And again, with my health issues, I don't sleep very well. So I was up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So I know the hurricane was downgraded to a tropical storm. So now it's moving up the East Coast. So anyway, guys, let me get back into my other article. You guys are welcome to chat amongst each other in the chat. And if you have any questions, please bring that up. And again, later after I post discuss these few news items, I'll post the link in the chat if anybody wants to join me on the panel. I know Johnny does this pretty much every Monday through Friday on his show. It seems to work well for him. I know I've tried it in the past and it's been hit or miss. So some of my best shows have been where I've done this. Other shows, no one wants to participate. So it is what it is. I know it's caught for quite a few of us, and you see me toweling down my head, you'll know why. I have a very old row house, and the air conditioning is really struggling to keep up with the 93-degree heat. All right, guys, so let me get into the next article. Okay, eBay is adding a personalization feature. Etsy and Amazon allow sellers of handmade goods to personalize them for shoppers, and now eBay is trying to catch up. It will launch personalization features in major markets in the coming months after releasing them in a test market in the UK and Germany in the spring. The listing feature has a field label personalization with text that the seller had customized with instructions and a space for buyer to add information on how they want the item. Personalized. The field is directly above the buy it now, add to cart buttons. Well, I was reading some comments on this, and again, we all know about how people like to return things, and sometimes they claim inads. So the problem is that some of the sellers brought up is if you customize something, and let's just say somebody says, well, it's not really Kelly green, it's emerald green, and I'm going to return that. Well, once you personalize the item, it's not really saleable again. So again, that's an issue, guys, for the personalization. So again, if you want to get into that, fine. If not, it's quite understandable. Pop in the chat for one more second here, guys. Everything seems to be okay. You can't keep up with these changes. You're getting old. Well, yeah, believe me, I'm getting old too. So again, periodically, like I said, what I do is I do these news shows if I don't have a guest scheduled. Especially this time of year in the summertime, it's more difficult to get guests. Everyone's busy with the reselling business and people go on vacations and whatnot. Maybe they're staying home, moms or dads, and they have their children at home now, and they're not in school. So that requires additional time. So it's more difficult to get guests this time of year. So anyway, occasionally I'll do these shows. Randy, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And again, you have the link in your email if you want to join me. I'm probably at another 10 minutes or so of news, and then we'll discuss a few things in the chat. And then, like I said, guys, it's 93 degrees out here. So if you see me mopping down my brow, you'll know why. All right, let me get into the next news item, guys. Okay, basically, this is about postage. We all know there's been some issues with the USPS. House lawmakers tell USPS to postpone mail rate hike to January 2022. As an aside, guys, we already know that the USPS has raised rates already this year in January. Anyway, House Democrats and Republicans are telling the Postal Service to push a price increase on its mail products from the end of summer to at least January 2022. Lawmakers warned Postmaster General Louis DeJoy that raising prices at the time when USPS revenues are increasing would be premature and counterproductive. House members have heard clearly from employers in their districts and across the nation that a second increase in a single year will be highly disruptive and result in significant job losses and significant reduction in the use of the Postal Service mail services. Many of these companies, especially small businesses, cannot afford a second increase, saying such action will reduce revenues and head to job losses. Pushing back the rate increases, House lawmakers told DeJoy would give USPS more time and greater clarity to determine the pandemic's long-term effects on its sales and revenue. Lawmakers urge caution from the USPS on behalf of the mailing industry, which accounts for 7.3 million jobs and more than 4% of the national civilian workforce. Keeping these companies afloat, they told DeJoy, remains critical to the long-term visibility of the Postal Service. And again, guys, we all know, again, we're getting back to the cost of shipping. And I know I've had Randy on the chat. And Randy, again, you're welcome to join me if you have the time to. We've talked about shipping before and how Randy does a tremendous amount of business in his wholesale business, and he sells on multiple platforms. And he's transferred a lot of his shipping from USPS to other carriers because of these price increases, and more significantly because of all the delays and the things on his account, because USPS was not shipping things out properly. There were extreme delays, and eBay was dinging sellers for late deliveries and causing them to refund the purchase price. Again, this is on another USPS item. USPS still expects modest growth for small packages that proposes a slower delivery. Again, guys, I want to remind you about this. USPS executives told the Postal Regulatory Commission Monday, again, this last Monday, I believe, or prior Monday, that the proposed service change to its first-class package service, which they call FCPS, lightweight packages that weigh less than a pound, would cut costs by reducing the volume of packages that travel via contracted air delivery. Again, we're a small business. We rely a lot on first-class mail when we can. And this is the businesses rely on first-class package service for items that include small electronics, prescription drugs, etc. Under the proposal, USPS would shift 32% of its first-class package service volume from a 3-day standard service to a 4 or 5-day standard. About 64% of the volume would not experience any change, while the remaining 4% of the volume would see service upgraded from 3-day to 2-day service. USPS told regulators that about 31% of its first-class package service parcels are currently transported through air carriers. USPS delivered 1.8 billion parcels via first-class package service in fiscal 2020, a more than 30% increase in volume compared to the year prior. Again, USPS projects demand for first-class package service will remain high based on the survey of more than 400 customers who rely on this service. Survey respondents said competitive pricing was their primary reason for using this service. Guys, as a side note, my commentary on this, we all know that more and more people were purchasing through online means because of the pandemic. So, of course, the volume and it was increased through the USPS, and they just couldn't keep up with it between staffing shortages and just the increased volume, so they couldn't keep up with it. So let me just pop in the chat, guys, and double check to make sure everything is going okay in the chat. Hello, guys. Okay, so a few more people joining. Appreciate you joining me. Going to get into a few more things, guys. And I said I only have about 20 minutes or 25 minutes worth of material. Typically the show runs about an hour. When I have guests on, I try to keep it around an hour. So, like I said, I'm going to open up the chat, and if anyone wants to join me, if not, I'll monitor the chat. We can discuss a few reselling things, and due to the heat, maybe we'll cut it a little bit early. Any news that eBay will do something for sellers? Well, they haven't been in the past. Again, that's why I'd like Randy to join me if he can, and we can discuss that. Randy does a lot of volume. And what happened with Randy was that he ships out so many things. And of course, when you're doing more volume, the odds of you having delayed shipping are increased. I mean, if I ship out 5 packages and Randy ships out 500 packages, and 10% of the packages are delayed, and Randy might have 50 delays, and I might just have one every other week or something. So they are way too partial to buyers. It's very funny. Dane Valley Deals, I'm sorry, I did know your name, and I have a brain freeze here. I'm sorry, I forget your name. If you want to put it in the chat, I'll write it down, try to remember it. In fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine prior to going online. We talk a few times a week. We used to work at my prior job, and we were talking about eBay and shipping things and the problems with shipping. And I need to order something, and I try to order things through Amazon or eBay or whatever the other online platforms. And we were talking about something, and I need to buy I had an issue at my home. I need to buy a wet dry vac, and I was considering buying it on eBay. And I thought, well, if it doesn't work out well, what am I going to do? The issue was, again, this particular item, the seller said that buyer pays return shipping. So again, if the item is defective, you can claim it's defective, and typically eBay supports you. Just say the buyer supports the buyer, not the seller. So that's a problem when you're a seller. You get dinged on your account. And I know Randy will be joining me shortly. I see he's in the green room. He was at top rated plus, and then he went down to, I believe, below standard, and I think he's back to top rated or top rated plus, but we'll discuss that with Randy. So just want to bring up a few more things, guys, and we'll bring Randy in shortly. Randy, hang in there, my friend. If you're adjusting your video, thank you. Appreciate that. So let's discuss a couple more things, guys, on the news front. One thing I want to bring to your attention, and again, this eBay Open is going to be online. Again, it'll be virtual again this year. They're not having it in Las Vegas. It'll be virtual, and it will be August 4th through the 6th. I'm going to do a screen share, guys, and hopefully you'll be able to see this, and I'll read from my screen here. So let me just go into that. We'll do a screen share. Okay. And we're going to share screen. We're going to share. Okay. Chrome tabs. Okay. So hopefully you guys will see this shortly. There's a little bit of lag. Okay, it is. I see it on my screen. So let me just make this full screen so you guys can see this a little bit better. and you can follow along as I read this. So basically, like I said, guys, the event will be virtual this year. It'll be August 4th through the 6th, and these times are in Pacific time. So on August 4th, it will start at 12 p.m. or noon Pacific time. So basically 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I already signed up. I basically have to register to be able to attend virtually. So anyway, guys, sharing my screen here about the event. They're saying join thousands of sellers like you for content and sessions you won't find anywhere else, all designed to help grow your business and deepen your community connections. Basically, it's going to be 3 half days, and it says start our next level training sessions. You guys can read that. I posted the link in my description below. Seller-led breakouts. Hear from successful sellers on a range of topics that can help you build and bring your business to the next level. Keynote speakers from executives. Basically, eBay will update you on what they're doing on the platform, get company updates, insights, and announcements straight from eBay leaders. Then they'll have category breakouts. So if you specialize in a certain category, they'll have various people from eBay discussing those categories. They'll have seller panels, which you can listen on discussion between sellers and eBay employees on topics like marketing and running a successful eBay business. There'll also be community networking. Connect with sellers like you based on location, the category you sell in, and more. There'll be special podcast recordings. Griff will be there. Griff, who I met at eBay Open several years ago, used to do the eBay Open radio, so he'll be doing a podcast. And again, guys, eBay Open online is free, and it's open to all eBay sellers. All right, so let me get out of that share screen, guys. All right, we'll stop sharing screen. It's been a while since I do that. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, and I'm back. So it's too bad we can't form a sellers union or source alliance. That's true. Well, Randy and I will discuss that. I said, Randy, hang in there, my friend. I'll bring you on in about 2 minutes. So, Randy and I have discussed this. We talk about networking and, doing things with other sellers and sharing things. So, anyway, we'll discuss that a little bit later. 2 other quick things I want to bring up, guys. I did mention eBay Open. For those of you that follow Katy and Vikki on YouTube, Katy and Vikki were on my show, I guess about a little over a year ago, and I'm planning on trying to bring back Katy and Vikki, or Katy or Vikki separately. They sell a lot of vintage clothing, so I think that's an opportunity for them to discuss that and share that with myself and the viewers. So anyway, they are having a live Reseller Remix 2021 in Las Vegas. It's October 19th through the 21st. And again, guys, this is an in-person event in Las Vegas. It's a gathering of online sellers designed to inspire and motivate attendees to learn from each other and take their business to the next level. There'll be networking, panel discussion, and opportunities to expand your knowledge. For those of you interested in attending, I have the link to Katy and Vikki's YouTube video where they discuss this event in the description section of my video. And in their description section of their video, they have a link to purchase tickets. Again, guys, if you're in the Las Vegas area, that's something you may want to consider. So again, there's a cost involved to purchase tickets, but Katy and Vikki do a nice job. So if you're interested and you're in the Las Vegas area, or you want to travel out to Vegas, something to consider. And one last thing, guys, speaking of Las Vegas, ASD is having their summer market week. And it's going to be live in person this year. They started having some regional events, and they are going back to Las Vegas this summer. The event is happening in person August 22nd to the 25th, again in Las Vegas. There will be 1,500 vendors and 3,500 booths with over 1 million product lines. For those of you who don't know, ASD used to stand for American Surplus Dealers. Now it stands for Affordable Shopping Destination. Okay, guys, so there is no cost to get tickets for this event if you pre-register. However, keep in mind that if you aren't local, obviously there are costs involved, such as transportation, lodging, meals, etc. All right, let me bring on Mr. Randy here. Hey, sir, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you explained that, because ASD here means the Allentown School District.
Allentown School District. Yeah, and it's some kind of medical condition too. When I was researching it. So yeah. So anyway, why don't you share a little bit about the issues that you had with your shipping and how you got dinged? And we discussed this before, but why don't you explain to the people in the chat what happened with you in your business?
Yeah, I lost about $42,000 with the post office just by the fact of them losing a lot of my mail. I realized that there can be days when I send out 1,000 pieces of mail. So that's no small amount. Actually, last year, between my sister and I, we spent almost $350,000 with the post office. And this year they lost $340,000 of that business. eBay did not stand behind us as a seller. 100%. I'm sorry. I have never been a below standard seller. It took me the first month of selling on eBay to become a top rated seller. After that, I was always a top rated seller until now. I went from top rated to below standard.
Right. That's what I thought, below standard. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's 99.9%, 99.999% the postal services issues.
Oh yeah.
And then eBay, like I said, didn't stand behind their sellers.
My sister came to the office one day, went out, and the mailbox was filled. It was filled with denial letters for insurance that USPS promises you. Well, they don't promise you because they say they didn't lose your packages. They're somewhere. They just don't know where they are.
That's crazy.
And you can call concierge. You can call. In fact, I was threatened that I would lose my concierge privileges because I was below standard. I'm not below standard now. I'm above standard.
Right.
And this will be top rated in the next 2 weeks. But I shouldn't have to earn that back.
Absolutely
because
not.
This was not my fault. And eBay knew it. They continually talked about it. They said there are still pockets where there are problems. And the two biggest problems were Philadelphia and Allentown. And they still remain the two biggest. Allentown lost over 600 million packages.
That's insane.
And it was just, you know what? There was nothing you could do about it. You just have to go on and build your business back up. And that's what we had to do. We transferred most of it over to FedEx and are sending our products FedEx Express. And it doesn't really cost us that much more because of the volume that we actually do.
Right. So again, guys, we've discussed you can negotiate rates if you're doing the kind of volume that Randy does. You can negotiate rates with USPS or FedEx or UPS, whomever. You can negotiate your rates and get less.
If there's a couple sellers that get together, okay, they can negotiate rates as a group. All right, I'll give you a real example of something that's not doesn't have to do with eBay or anything else. The Amish community, okay, negotiates rates with a local hospital, okay, because they don't have insurance.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
The local hospital said, well, we don't like, what you're negotiating. And they said, we're not going to accept that. And the local hospital had to go back and renegotiate for the simple reason that once all the Amish said, well, we're not going to go there anymore, the hospital almost went out of business.
Oh, geez.
So that was renegotiated, and that's the way it was. I mean, they have their own banks, all their own financing. Okay. It's a community that's pretty much self-built, and pretty much all the marijuana that used to come into the country was brought in by the Amish.
Oh, really?
From Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, because who's going to stop a guy in a horse and buggy? But that's the way it was, because they were, persecuted out of Canada and went down to Mexico, and that's basically how they earned a living.
Wow.
Anyway, that's but I think the
Randy
post
said
office.
I didn't say that.
The post office is horrendous.
Yes.
And
they're trying to hit us twice, not me personally, but us, the general us, with another rate increase.
I actually decided not to sign up for eBay Open.
Okay.
Because there were some permissions they were asking for that I just felt I couldn't accept, and decided, I don't really have to go. And
No, like I said, it's something, again, it's in the afternoon. It's like 3-4 hours in the afternoon. And, it's funny, when I was reading these articles earlier and preparing the show, and then, reading them again during the show, I'm thinking, I wonder if people are going to address this issue. And will even eBay allow them to address this issue with the Postal Service?
I honestly don't think so. But they really haven't been forthright and honest about it.
Yes.
So
that's how I feel.
That's just my personal opinion. I think eBay is still a good platform, and you just got to stick with it and suffer through it.
Right.
That's just the way it is. They don't want to lose money, and neither do we. But it's their platform and not ours, so they really have the upper hand.
I use the analogy, the old saying, if you go to somebody's basketball court, it's their court, it's their ball. You play by the rules, or you don't play. And that's the issue with eBay and Amazon and Walmart and whomever. They make the rules, and they enforce the rules, and you're kind of at their whim sometimes.
I'll tell you a story about it, and this has to do with helping and giving to other people. I called somebody that I met up with when they were first starting, and they were in a little warehouse, and I said, I asked how they were doing, and they said really well. I said, are you still in the original warehouse that you guys were in? And they said, no, we moved out of there into a 35,000 square foot warehouse. And I said, oh, so you're in 35,000 square feet? He says, no, we're in 85,000 square feet because we outgrew that, and basically that's all your fault.
Okay. I want to hear this story.
I said, we started with a direction that I thought we were going to go, and then you came to visit us and changed our minds, and at this point we're now a Fortune 500 company.
Wow.
And that was just 4 years ago.
What kind of things are they selling?
They're a coffee company.
Oh, coffee company, like, yeah, okay. Well, your food, mainly food, but
I said, you know what? Coffee companies have to work together. And I met another guy who's just starting out, and I said, I need to introduce you to these people, because we all work together and we all can run into problems. Okay, you can have fires. Fires are a real big thing in the coffee industry.
They said with the worst thing in coffee, the fires are a big deal, yeah.
So there's a couple of people that I helped in the beginning days, and whenever I need something, because I was a coffee roaster, I can go to any of them, and anything I ask for, they'll give me. Yeah. And that's the same thing with reselling. That's the same thing almost with anything. You'd be surprised how many major companies, let's just say theoretically like Hershey and Nestle, actually work together. They are competitors, but they still work together. Okay. Chocolate in Europe is not the same thing as chocolate in the United States.
Is Cadbury, that's a European brand, right? Cadbury?
Yeah. But it's not the same.
It's not the same Cadbury here that it is over there.
As it is there.
Right.
Okay. I mean, there are some names that are the same, like Smarties, which is a different product altogether.
Right.
Even though Smarties are also made in Canada, the ones we know as Smarties.
Right.
But the ones throughout most of Europe are not the same. They're a totally different product.
Like you say, a lot of these companies like license agreements, so they may make the product over in Europe or wherever.
Yeah, Yeah, you'd be surprised how many companies make other companies things.
Right.
I really don't want to tell you which
Oh, you
ones they
can't.
are
You
because
have a non-disclosure agreement.
But again, back to the post office. I mean, you can
Right.
negotiate rates with the post office. I'll tell you that Amazon certainly doesn't pay anything near what you do.
No. It's funny. I'm watching all these, like, you and I have talked offline about these different affiliate things and these different programs and things. And, I was thinking about it, Amazon FBA, and I'm thinking, how the heck can you ship? Like, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers because I'm not doing Amazon right now, but ship this big, huge box, and it's like $8 and we want to ship a small package, under pan, it's $4.50, with the USPS.
Yeah. When I ship things, for instance, to one of the companies that does some distribution for us, I can ship a 25-pound box halfway across the country for $4.
Right, and on your eBay business, if you want to ship a package across the country, it's $4.55.
Yeah,
Pound.
I can't ship an 8-ounce package to California for less than $4.
Exactly.
Of course,
it just doesn't make sense.
China can ship a 4-ounce package here for 47 cents.
Well, it's funny you brought that up. I was going to bring that up and on the show with the news thing. That was one of the things that came up in one of the blogs I was reading. How Amazon's suspending all these different Chinese-based sellers. Again, I don't sell on Amazon, so I'm assuming that's correct. But again, who knows?
I don't think that's 100% true.
Okay.
I know that even though as big as people think Amazon is, Alibaba makes Amazon look like eBay.
Who is, again, I'm having a little bit of brain freeze. Who is the Alibaba, the big
Alibaba is really run by the Chinese government.
Okay. But there's a front man, kind of like, well, it used to be Jeff Bezos for Amazon. Now he's not the CEO anymore. He's going off to outer space or whatever. But I forget who I used to follow that stuff when I was.
Alibaba is big.
Yeah.
Just like most people don't realize that the grocery industry in this country is really run for the most part out of the Netherlands.
Right.
Okay. The real big guys have, anywhere between 10 to 25,000 stores. And we're talking full line 100,000 foot grocery stores.
Right.
We're not talking about little corner stores.
Mm-hmm.
Most people wouldn't realize that Aldi's and Trader Joe's are the same company.
Well, they're brother. They're kind of like brother and sister. They're two different brothers.
Yeah, but they work together.
Right.
Most people don't know that the board that serves on Wawa is just the other board that serves on Sheetz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why you really don't see Sheetz and Wawa.
No, Wawa is well. We used to be a local convenience store. Now they're spreading, further south. They're in the Delaware and Maryland. I think some in Virginia.
There's a lot in Florida.
And Florida as well. And Sheetz is another local convenience store chain that supposedly has delicious coffee, when I'm told, even better than Wawa's coffee.
I'd say it's pretty much the same.
Okay. My friend that from the area I was talking about earlier, we're talking about shipping products and returns and whatnot. When he's out traveling, he stops at Sheetz and he loves their. I guess they have some kind of fresh ground machine that grinds your coffee fresh before you make it.
Yeah,
you're a coffee guy, so you would know a lot better.
Those machines came out actually as early as 1980.
Okay.
They were called Grind and Brew.
Yes, I remember that.
And Cuisinart put them out in a retail setting, but so did Grindmaster out of Kentucky.
Is that how you pronounce it? Cuisinart? I always called it Cuisinart.
I don't care which way you pronounce it.
Wow, I'm just asking. I don't know.
But which is basically a kind of a home goods part of Hobart.
Yeah, Lisa says they're building a lot of Wawas around Florida. Lisa, like I said, I'm in South Jersey, right across the bridge in Philadelphia. It's insane the number of Wawa locations that are going up. The time I turn around, they're building another Wawa. It's like,
Yeah, I
the
love
old saying, they
Wawa.
have more money than God. I guess they're looking for ways to spend their money.
Wawa does.
I must have 4 Wawas within like 3 miles of my house.
Yeah, Wawa does a lot of things right,
Yeah.
and how they deliver to me for free. I don't even have to go to Wawa.
Well,
You know,
you get
so
your hoagies, which is the sub, which is the what else they call them, grinders.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
delivered for free.
We just, I think Wawa. I mean, I live in a great area because Chick-fil-A delivers free.
Like you said, yeah.
I get it right from Chick-fil-A. I get it right from Wawa. If I want coffee, I don't even have to make it in the morning. All I have to do is call Wawa. I don't.
Well,
They'll
you
deliver me
got
anything.
the delivery person. Obviously, you do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and as quick as they get, it's still hot, nice and hot.
Really?
Yeah, and on well, they don't do it anymore, but they used to. If you had a Wawa card, they gave you free coffee on Tuesdays.
Yeah, they were doing that during the summer. That's weird. They didn't do it in July yet. I guess that's weird.
That's why I always went to pick up coffee because I'd stop at Wawa and get my breakfast and go up to the docks in New York.
Hey, you get a free cup of coffee.
That's it.
And then you get the biggest one you can get. Guys, you tip. And again, I'm supposed to be avoiding dairy, so I get the almond milk, which is expensive. So I bring my thermos, cup, or I don't have it down here. I have it upstairs. But so I get the 24 ounce, and I'll put my coffee, and I'll put the almond milk in there. And when I get to the car, I just transfer it into my drinking thermos thing, and you're good to go.
This is a great area for food. I mean, we got everything here. We got Whole Foods, we got Wegmans, and virtually everybody delivers. In fact, I've had deliveries from Wegmans that I didn't even order, and they just said, "Well, keep it." So the other week, I got $300 worth of groceries for nothing.
Well, that's something I wanted to go back to too. You were talking about. You told me offline the issues with the postal service, how you get all these different what do you call those shipping mail crates? What do you call those things? The technical term for that.
Basically, mail tubs.
Mail tubs. And how you would find they'd be stocked in your warehouse, and you'd find mail and mortgage payments and insurance bills and all kinds of things.
Yeah. I got a whole stack of wedding invitations. At least that's what they look like. If anybody want to know why their wedding was really not well attended, that's probably why. I don't think they send those out all that early. And I don't know how long I actually had them. I had to call the local district justice up so somebody wouldn't get thrown in jail because there were some payments in there that were due.
Right.
And, I said, look, I know that a lot of these people have kind of wild excuses, but I'm telling you that this person actually did send the payment.
Right.
But that's not even anything new. I mean, weekly I find tubs with mail in them. You figure, well, one piece of mail would stick on the side. Yeah, but just 1/3 of a tub full of mail is not one little letter sticking to the side.
No. And if they did that multiple times over and over, it's a lot of mail.
And when I took them back to the local post office, it didn't even seem that was anything out of the ordinary.
It was not a big deal to them. Oh well. It's funny. I mean, they're quasi governmental business, but I mean, don't they consider customer service? Sometimes it amazes me. When I was raised, back in that, and I was working retail and learned about customer service when I worked retail and was going to college, and then I was in sales for a long time, and I had to get back into retail, and small business especially is about customer service, but some of these companies, they don't care.
Well, the local postmaster hated me because service at the local post office where I was at one of my warehouses was so bad. When I had a chat with his supervisor made him come and apologize to me and all my employees for the bad service and all the treatment. I mean, they would tell us to take half our mail back. Can't you bring it back another day?
You're running a business.
We're going to close in an hour and a half.
That's not your problem.
And we'd have days when we wouldn't get mail because they had a carrier problem. I'm talking 10 years ago. So there's always been issues with the post office. They're just somebody who really sees themselves above other people.
Yeah.
And at that point, I wasn't the largest shipper in town because my neighbor is J.I. Rodale, and they're pretty much a magazine empire with Prevention Magazine and Runner's World and bicycling and organic gardening, all kinds of publications.
I wasn't where they were based in town. Okay.
And so they're nice folks, but the post office had to kiss their rear end because they're such a big shipper. And then we moved to a town.
Their rates were supposedly going up too. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah, I don't think they can push the rates all that much higher because they're pretty darn close to FedEx and UPS as we speak.
Right.
The real problem is the rates that they give Amazon and other platforms like that.
Well, yeah, like you and I discussed offline. I mean, I don't know, and you don't know for a fact, but we're assuming. The old saying, what happens when you assume. But we're assuming eBay gets these competitive rates, and they pass on a small portion of them to these sellers. But they're also making money on shipping. Plus, they're making, they're charging you final value fees on top of that rate.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked, when I went to below standard, even my fees from eBay were $1,500 more in a month, and that's $1,500 I would rather have.
Sure. I guess at least they get some magazines from Rosedale Press. I know my mother used to subscribe to Prevention Magazine.
They're nice people. I used to actually roast organic coffee for them.
Okay.
And we actually had a coffee bar inside of their factory, their offices.
Before you leave, Dan Ideas, could you just leave your first name in the chat so I can write it down and remember it? I appreciate you joining us. So that's what I try to do. Like I said, I typically have one other resellers, and like I said, with the way the summer is, and people are starting to get out and about now with the virus, hopefully calming down a little bit. So I'm glad you joined us, and hopefully you can you'll subscribe and continue to enjoy the show. I think we provide some good content. So when I don't have a guest schedule, I reach out to people like my moderators, Randy and Sharon, and ask them to come join me. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you. I'm sorry, Randy. Go ahead. You said the Rosedale people were nice people, and
yeah, I think the Rosedale people are real nice folks. We've done a lot of business with them over the years, and they certainly have changed. And they were, one of the things they shared with me is, it's too difficult when you're ahead of the game. Don't always be the first, because that's the real difficult part.
Right.
You'd be amazed at how many magazines that they basically were kind of put to bed because they were too early in the game.
Well, that's the thing now too. I mean, I tell people, occasionally share, my personal life on the show, and I get 80% of my news from Yahoo. I mean, I just have the computer open, whether I'm working on eBay or I'm goofing off, or I'm, watching YouTube about, reselling, or YouTube about YouTube. And I get, I have Yahoo open all the time, and you get all these different sites, and they want you to subscribe digitally. I mean, everything, the digital, the local newspaper, the Philadelphia newspaper, the regional paper, the national paper, everything's digital now,
Yeah. And you know what? This is an interesting thing. Years ago, I was doing some research, and I met up with a guy who was, at that point, he was 97 years old. His name was Dr. Julius R. Manti. Dr. Manti was a Greek grammarian. In other words, he was the guy who writes the grammar books, okay, in the Greek language. I was never interested in the Greek language, but the nice thing about sitting down with him and having a couple of dinners is I learned a lot about the Wild West in the early days of, I mean, here's a guy who, I mean, we're talking, this was almost 40 years ago, and he was almost 100.
Wow. It's just funny you said that. Just as an aside, President Carter, Jimmy Carter, and Rosalind, I think it was his wife.
Yeah,
they're celebrating their 75th wedding anniversary today, I believe. So obviously, I think obviously they're in their 90s. So.
Yeah. My grandmother I have a letter from Jimmy Carter to my grandmother.
Okay.
Of course, my grandmother died a long time ago, but they were also nice. He was the worst president on earth, but nice person. That's why I think it really takes a scumbag to be the president.
Again, I try not to discuss politics on that, but the only thing I'll say is, growing up, it was like the second election I voted in, and or maybe the first one, I don't know. But anyway, he was a very nice man, but not a great president. He's done a lot over the years for charities. And
unfortunately, I've been around for a long time, so I even remember the day President Kennedy was assassinated.
Wow, yeah,
I was in 4th grade.
So,
but that's another whole story. But we won't get into that anyway.
Yeah, we're not going to discuss politics. You just get me in trouble.
Well, you want to get back to reselling.
Although drama kind of helps views, apparently. So we don't have a lot of viewers right now because I'm trying to keep this kind of a drama-free zone. But yeah, so anyway, you're not going to be attending eBay Open because some of the permissions, I guess. I didn't really look into that much because I mean, obviously your business is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably one of the early ones, and maybe that's why they wanted some of the information. But I just didn't feel that it was all that appropriate.
Right.
And I didn't think I needed it that much.
Well, I know Casey was complaining about who was it? Etsy? Apparently, was asking all these personal questions. I think it was Etsy.
No, I think it was somebody else. Maybe it was Poshmark.
Maybe it was Poshmark. Yeah, it probably was. I think it was Poshmark. Yeah, that's on my mind because it was one of my news articles. I think you're right. It was Poshmark. And in fact, I think they're having a regional meetup with Poshmark in his area, and he was debating whether to go or not.
Yeah, I know that. For instance, I forget what grocery chain it is now is going to start a platform.
I think it's only Kroger.
Kroger, that's right.
Yeah.
And there's been rumors around that PayPal is going to start a platform.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So
how are you doing with Walmart? You doing well with them?
Extremely well.
Good.
Extremely well. I mean, there's some frustrations, and there always is. I've turned a lot of sites down because they come to you after a while,
right?
And they want you to basically sell on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
I turned Walmart down in the beginning, but I've seen a turnaround there, and a turnaround that I'd like to see on some other platforms. I don't. eBay. I really don't expect it to be.
Right.
Because I've heard some things that sounded good, but they went back to the same old. And let's face it, Sears was once the Amazon of its day.
Yes.
And now it's no more.
Well, yeah, I remember Sears and Penny's and Woolworth. Back in the day.
You never know who the next David, the slay the Goliath, is going to be.
That's true.
It could be just a lowly old shepherd boy.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, the 2 richest men in the world couldn't even hold their wives.
True. Well, we're trying not to discuss that either.
But
you get a little off topic here. We're losing viewers.
But anyway, I can't see any chat.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think
don't
Lisa's
think
here,
that,
and I'm not even sure if Sharon's still here because I think she had a virtual meeting to attend. I'm not sure if she's still here. I guess if she's here, she'll type in the chat. But we're
I
getting
hope
kind of low.
nobody thinks I'm ignoring them, because I'm really not. I don't have, maybe
Well, I'm monitoring the chat, and there weren't any questions for you other than did you have a YouTube channel? And I told Angie that you did not. Dayton Valley Deals. I told her you did not have a YouTube channel.
No, I just
You got your hands full with everything else you're doing.
I got enough crap to do.
Exactly.
You know, I spend a lot of my time actually refining what I have.
Yeah, tweaking it and changing pricing, changing pictures, changing descriptions. Exactly.
You know, I mean, if I see
Titles.
pictures that I actually, and I guess this is kind of goofy, but I downloaded a bunch of my pictures and actually enlarged them 300 times to see how clear they were.
Okay.
To see if they were fuzzy, and I found a bunch that I really just didn't like, so I went and took them over and redid them. I actually just bought another phone with a better camera.
Right.
It was cheaper than buying a camera.
Yeah. Okay.
And the nice thing is the phones actually work better than the cameras. They're a lot easier to use. I can actually do everything pretty much a whole lot quicker than I used to. I used to have to spend an hour or two in doctoring up photographs.
Well, we didn't defend Lisa. She's still here.
Well, that's
yeah. And funny. I was using the app in the phone to remove the backgrounds because I have like a do-it-yourself picture box I made, for small things, and I was taking pictures of the remotes, and it's like, oh, they had the shades, this, that, and the other, and I said, oh, okay, I can just. And what I do is I like to do a listing on the computer. I'll take the pictures on my phone. And so I used to transfer pictures to iCloud, or when I had an Android, I would plug it in the computer and it would download. I said, nah, I'm just going to download them from in the app now, and it makes it easier. And then I had to remove the background. So, basically you square up the picture and then it removes the background. So, I thought it worked pretty well.
Which app do you use?
That was the eBay app, the seller app. I use remove.bg background.
Yeah.
But if you use the app, the eBay seller app,
yeah,
and you take pictures with your phone, you can do it right from your phone.
Okay, because I use Photo Room.
A lot of people do use Photo Room. I think Casey uses Photo Room also.
And I actually like it. I mean, I don't get any money for saying I like it, but
Right.
But I actually do like it.
Yes,
it really has saved me a lot.
I'm pretty sure that Casey uses it, but like I said, I thought it worked pretty well. The app right from your phone with the eBay seller app.
I don't think any of them work 100%, but pretty much,
No.
It's funny because I get free labels now from FedEx because we do a lot of shipping with them.
Sure.
The only problem is they're wound on the roll backwards.
The what?
They're actually wound backwards.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but they still run. I ran I put on a roll of labels that I got on deal, and they weren't perforated, so
Really?
they didn't really tear off right, and
that's not gonna work well.
I hated them. So I put this one on that I got from FedEx. It was like there's like 1,000 labels on a roll, and it worked perfect. So even though it's wound backwards. I hope they're all not wound that way, but
there you go.
I don't really care as long as they work. I mean, I have pallets of labels, so I won't need any for about a year.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah. So when like I said, hopefully this weather's going to break. I think it's going to be in the 90s this weekend as well. So maybe in August it'll be cooler than July. We shall see.
And when you find a good deal, take it. I found 3 brand new Zebra printers for $25 each.
Wow.
In the box, new in the box. And I tried to get him down a little more.
Really?
And he sold them to somebody else.
Okay.
So I didn't get him anyway.
Right.
I should have just paid him for it and done it, but it's just not my nature.
Well, I talk about, we talk about bundling things when you go to yard sale or garage sale or estate sale, whatever. Yeah, sometimes the price is the price is the price. So
yeah, when the price is good, you know what, you might as well grab it.
yeah.
No sense in losing it.
Well, I had mentioned, I think it was on the last show, I had mentioned that I was trying to buy something for YouTube, and it's something I use. You hook it up in the camera, so it's something I'm going to need. I have one already. I said I'm probably going to need another one. And somebody had mentioned on one of the YouTube creator shows, oh, the price is down. If you're interested in getting it, price is down. I said, oh, I'll look into it. I obviously got other bills to pay, but it's like, all right. So the guy was on eBay, selling it on eBay was the least expensive I could find. And he was around $100, and he had best offer, so I think he was like $97.99 or something, free shipping. So I offered him like $92, no, $93, no, $94, no, $95, no. I think he came back like $97.50. It's like, really?
I'll tell you what I do, because I don't really like spending a whole lot of time, and I don't really like when somebody offers me some stupid low figure, like below what it costs to even ship it.
Right.
I figure out what I would take as a minimum, and I put that down, and I put the regular price down, and otherwise it'll, automatically get rid of it.
Right.
It'll automatically not let the person buy it. And
yeah, technically you're not supposed to do that. I mean, I used to do that too, but now I don't.
Yeah, I know you're not, but
because you do so much volume, you don't have time to deal with the low ballers.
Yeah, I mean, I offer what I feel is a fair price, and but there are some things that I just do.
Lisa says she was too cheap to buy the paid version of Photo Room, and she got tired of Xing out their wooden work, cutting out their wooden work. Yeah. It's extra work. I mean, that's the issue I have, Lisa, too, as well. I mean, all these different things. I mean, especially for YouTube, everything's subscription based. I mean, I bought TubeBuddy, which is probably I'm going to end up putting that link in the description. But that reminds me, too, guys. Again, there's not many of you in the chat right now, but maybe for the people that watch the replay, I do have some links in my description below. I'm starting to do some Amazon affiliate links. I listed some products that I use or that I know are good products. Like I use Scotch tape and the Scotch, tape dispensers. And I like the Accuteck scales, the postal sales. So anyways, I put that in the description, guys. If you click on that link, even if you don't buy those items, I think it's for 48 hours. I get a small commission from Amazon, and there's no additional cost to you. So that kind of helps me and helps monetize the channel a little bit. And I have buy me coffee, etc. in the description below. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I didn't understand that, lowering his buy, best offer and lowering his price 50 cents. So I ended up buying it. I mean, I'm sure he sold it to somebody else, but I was like, oh no, dude. He's like, yeah, best offer, at least come down a couple dollars. Don't come down 50 cents. Yeah,
I think that's a fair decision that you made. I want to give people a deal too, but
well, yeah, I mean, you're running a business, so you have bottom line you have to be concerned about.
The kids need shoes.
Exactly.
Just an old saying.
Right.
All right.
Yes, sir. Okay, guys. So thank you, Randy. And I always say your time is your most valuable asset. So again, Randy, I appreciate you taking the time and joining me to kind of help me out to close out the show after I did my news segment. And for you people in the chat, I appreciate you guys hanging in there. People watching the replay, I appreciate that as well. So again, guys, I'm always looking for other resellers to join me. So if you're watching a replay or we're in the chat right now, please contact me on social media. I'm AdamsExploits everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, etc. You send me a message, or I have AdamsExploits@gmail.com for my email. So always looking for other resellers to interview, and I do my show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks all. We shall see you next week. Have a great night.